Genesis 11. Now the whole earth had one language and one speech. And it came to pass, as they journeyed from the east, that they found a plain in the land of Shinar. And they dwelt there. Then they said to one another, "Come, let us make bricks and bake them thoroughly." They had brick for stone, and they had asphalt for mortar. And they said, "Come, let us build ourselves a city, and a tower whose top is in the heavens. Let us make a name for ourselves, lest we be scattered abroad over the face of the whole earth." But the Lord, someone or something having power, authority, or influence, a master or ruler, as in Lord of the sea, Lord of the jungle, our Lord the King. Lord is a United Kingdom word, a title given formerly to a baron, right? Ultimately meaning a master, ruler, came down to see the city and the tower which the sons of men had built. The sons of men had built. And the Lord said, "Indeed, the people are one, and they all have one language, and this is what they begin to do. Now nothing that they propose to do will be withheld from them." So this is the problem in the story, that the people are one, and they all have one language, and this is what they begin to do. Now nothing that they propose to do will be withheld from them. So this is the problem in the story, that whatever they propose to do together would not be withheld from them. So as a result, the Lord said, "Come, let us go down and there confuse their language, and that they may not understand one another's speech." So the Lord scattered them abroad from there over the face of all the earth, and they ceased building the city. Therefore its name is called Babel, because there the Lord confused the language of all the earth, and from there the Lord scattered them abroad over the face of all the earth. All right, so now we go into the descendants of Shem. And through the descendants of Shem, you have Terah, as in the Torah, right? Or Terah. He begot Abram, Nagor, and Haran. Okay, then Haran begot Lot, and Haran died before his father Terah in his native land, in the of the Chaldeans. So now we know where Abram is from, of the Chaldeans. That's the land of his kindreds. Okay, then Abram and Nahor took wives, and the name of Abram's wife was Sarai, and the name of Nahor's wife, Melchiah, the daughter of Haran, the father of Melchiah, and the father of Iskar. All right, but Sarah was barren; she had no child. Okay. Then what you do is we're going to Genesis 12, and the Lord, which we just seen, confused the language of the sons of men, all right, and scattered them abroad. You've seen that, right? So now the Lord said to Abram, "Get out of your country, from your family, right? Away from your family, away from your father's house, to the land that I will show you, right? I will make you a great nation, and I will bless you." Okay, so Abram took his wife adversary, and they go and they depart to go to the land of Canaan. Canaan, this is going into the Black Lands. This is the land where by the Jordan. Okay, so they came to the land of Canaan. All right, and Abram passed through the land in the place of Shechem. Right, and this is important. This is very, very important because this is Genesis 34. As far as the terebinth tree and Moreh, and this is important because this is where after Shechem, this will happen here in the future. The sons of Jacob will actually trick Shechem and his people into getting circumcised, and then slaughter all the males, right? And then take the females and all their possessions basically they made the females hide their possessions under the terebinth tree, right? So we probably should just go see that real quick. So if we go to the Dinah incident, you'll see Shechem, who longed for the daughter. She was the daughter of Jacob. And the issue is that Shechem is not circumcised, right? And it's not something that, this is another, totally different podcast that we would need to do. But the issue was about circumcision, okay? And the sons of Jacob dealt deceitfully, right, with Shechem and Humar, all right, so because of the daughter of Israel, all right? And this is a lot. This is going to be something you're going to see a pattern of, right? But you'll see here they killed on the third day. They pretty much deceived all the men to get circumcised when they were all sore and in pain. They came and seized the city, right? And they took all their oxen, donkeys, all right, all their wealths, their wives. They took captives. They plundered even the house. They did like Black Wall Street, right, in Tulsa, Oklahoma, right? Kind of presses this, right? And this was all based off of the treatment of their sister. It's interpreted in through the slave translations or interpretation as that there was a rape, but this was never said in the story. We can go through the story. This was the issue of circumcision and the two different types of people coming together, right? Two different races of men intermixing. That's what this was about, okay? All right, so if you go to 35, you'll see that Jacob made them give up all the gods that were in their hands and their earrings, and they hid them under the terebinth tree, which was by Shechem, okay? And then they journeyed, and the terror of God was upon the cities that were all around them, and they did not pursue the sons of Jacob. So we're establishing that we're in the land of what would be the black people, the black lands, all right? And we have foreigners coming into the land, right, with their traditions, their livestock, their ways, right? And this caused plagues when you say the house of Pharaoh. This is the house of Africa, because this was the gateway. The Canaan was the gateway into Africa, and then you would go from Canaan to Egypt, right? So after they entered the land of Canaan, right? The Canaanites were in the land, all right? Understand, we're dealing with the Lord, and the Lord is different than God, okay? All right? The God of Abram is not the same as the Egyptians and the African people. So it would be Stockholm for us to be giving our highest praise to a energy force that is anti who we are and brought plagues upon our people and have cursed our people, right? So there was famine in the land of Abram, so he went into Egypt. Okay, and there was the severe famine. Okay, so this brought him, he's a foreigner, into the land of Africa. All right. And it says the Lord plagued the Pharaoh and his house with great plagues because of Sarah's, Abram's wife. Okay. Now this is his first of 3 wives. Okay. And it's very, very important to understand that his first child came from an African woman, right? Hagar, the Egyptian. And she was in Ham. She was a Hamite. All right. So we're going to get to that right here. All right. So you got Hagar, who was an Egyptian. They'll start out with maidservant because it doesn't sound as bad. And it is accurate, because what they're saying is that she assisted Sarah. And this was not something that wasn't foreign. I think what was the issue is that Sarah had the authority to give Hagar up to her husband to bear a child, right? And then she ended up resenting them. Now understand that this is the Lord that they're following here. The Lord, the same Lord who caused confusion, right? You've seen amongst the people of Africa. So how do you know for sure that we're talking about the people of Africa? You kind of know, but before the Tower of Babel, it'll tell you that there were 3 sons of Noah, Shem, Ham, and Japheth, right? And then it starts out with the sons of Japheth, right? And of the sons of Japheth, they're going to let you know that Gomer had a son named Ashkenaz or Ashkenazi, okay? And these are the coastland people that were considered the Gentiles, all right? And they were separating in their lands, all right? Everyone according to his language, according to their families and their nations, okay? And then you had the sons of Ham. And the sons of Ham were Cush. And if you look up Cush, you'll see that Cush represents the southern part of ancient Nubia, first mentioned in Egyptian records of the Middle Kingdom. And the Bible is the country of the descendants of Cush. All right. Then you have Mizraim. Mizraim is Egypt before Egypt was mentioned. All right. So Mizraim is the Hebrew, okay? So we see what word is being used, the Hebrew or Aramaic name for the land of Egypt, all right? So then you have Put. You can actually, if you put it in there, you'll have Punt. So we'll go here. We'll do, let's look up, you can't do Punt. If you just look up Put, you'll just get Put, all right? But what we'll do is we can, let's see if we do this real quick. We'll search Google, which is obviously not going to just come up Google. And then you could put an N here, and then you'll put maps. And you see, we'll put ancient point. All right, so we get ancient Punt, and we'll just go to the World Encyclopedia, and we'll look. No matter where you go, okay, you're going to be in the African regions, okay? So if you look up here, you'll see the Kushite Empire, the Punt, all right, here, and then you'll have Mizraim, or Egypt, the Greeks renamed it Egypt, okay? And then here you have Canaan, okay? And then here you have Sarah, like Abram's wife, right? And then you have Assyria, okay? And Mesopotamia. And these people are coming down into the land of Canaan, right? They're fleeing famine, and they're coming down through Canaan, across the land bridge into the Nile River Valley, right? And out of the Nile turns into 4 river heads, okay? So they're coming into the Nile, and they're seeing the beautiful towers first. You see the towers, and then if you continue to go, you'll start seeing the kingdoms of Cush and then you'll end up keep going, and you'll end up, this also turns into 4 river heads, and one of them encompasses the land of Havilah. The other one is the land is Pishon, but the Bible is giving you very distinct descriptions. Now, if you look, you'll see you have the Hittite Empire, or Hittites, that came down the same way. These are the coastland people. You actually see the city of Byblos here, okay? So if you look, you see the city of Byblos. This is what the Bible is about. Now, this is kind of flipped around. I don't know. This is called the Red Sea, they say, because of the way it appears during a particular season where the creatures, some of the sea creatures, I guess they turn red or something like that. But this is actually the Black Sea here, right? And this is the Red Sea. And this is really what it's about. These are the red lands, the people who formed their kingdoms out of the Caucasus Mountains, right? Descending from the Caucasus Mountains, right? And then the people who descended out of the mountains of Kenya up through the Nile. And eventually the world evolved, traded, fought, war, all kinds of stuff over this land. And the reason why is because the Red Sea deads into this land, the Nile dead into this land, the Mediterranean Sea ends up in this land. This here is the trade capital of the world. And the Hebraic people are specifically gifted in trade throughout generations. Even in the Americas, if it wasn't because of the Jewish traders in America would have probably starved. The early London colonies, right? If you look at the establishment of New England would not survive without the Jewish trade network. All right, so they were considered, vagabonds, right? But they do practice principles that make them divinely blessed, man. The gift of trade, all right, and seeing talent and being able to commoditize that, right, and practicing group economics. But anyway, this usually, because they thrive wherever they go, right, because they tend to have better quality products or better whatever it is, they end up thriving and doing better than wherever they go, and that they end up flooding wherever they end up, right, with their ways, right? They even overtaking the people, right? And this is the people who they overtake end up losing their land, their women, their culture, right? They end up diminishing the ancestries, the root, as Christ says, I am the root and, right, the son of David. But the point is, he was mixed, all right? Out of Egypt, I call my son, right? And we know Mary was his mother. So you have a mixing of people, and it was a gift and a curse, all right? It comes with a gift and a curse. And so the knowledge is of the good and the bad, the gift and the curse, right? People tend to want to focus on the Babylonian, just the glory aspect of it all, right? They want to glorify and idol worship materialism, right? And lasciviousness, right? And all of these. So we end up growing to the point where Abram was fleeing, and when he fled, he ended up plaguing the house of Mizraim, right? Or the house of Egypt, which is house of Kemet. They're just not going to use the native land. So you have Cush, Kemet, Kerma, or you have Punt. These are Nile Valley nations, and then you have Canaan, all brothers. They're all African brothers. And it also tells you the sons of Cush were Havilah, right? Saba, Sabata, Rama, and Sabteka. And the sons of Rama was Sheba and Dedan. Sheba and Dedan were later begotten. All right, so you can begot, as you can see, Cain begot Nimrod. He began to become a mighty one on the earth. He was a mighty one mighty hunter before the Lord. Before the Lord got involved, the Lord who separated and devised and confused the people who built the towers, which were the towers of Giza, right? These are the pyramids. So right here are the towers of Babel. They just want you to believe they're somewhere else. They'll have you believe it anywhere. They'll have you believe in aliens who came down and built it for you. But we see the evidence right here. And the granite that was used to build these towers came from Aswan, right? So we know where the evidence lead us to the empire of Kush. All right. So this is the Genesis. This is what is all defined in the story. They're just going to hide the African perspective, right? They tell you that the river went out of Eden to water the garden. All right. It tells you that it parted and became 4 river heads, right? So it's telling you that out of Eden is in the Kushite Empire, and out of it, the river turns into 4 river heads. You can either go north, it turns into 4 river heads, or you can go south and it turns into 4 river heads. So either way you look at it, the name of the first is Paishan. It's the one which skirts or encompasses. They changed the language again. You see, do we want to do that? Let's see, we'll do